everyone. I'm Danielle Romano, Managing Editor of Convenience Store News. Welcome to this episode of our Convenience Inclusion Initiative podcast, where we share stories of how the C-store industry is fostering an inclusive work culture and tap the minds of thought leaders for insight into what more the industry could be doing to benefit from diversity of thought and background. I'm here today with Adam Ingberman, Director of Sales and Strategy for Prospector Popcorn. Prospector Popcorn's journey began in 2014 within the Prospector Theater, a nonprofit theater located in Ridgefield, Connecticut. With 75% of its team self-identifying with a disability, Prospector Popcorn continues to show the world the value its prospects add to the workforce. By producing exceptional handmade gourmet popcorn, Prospector Popcorn debunks stereotypes and showcases its sparkle. Adam, thanks so much for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks. So to start, can you share the story behind Prospector Popcorn and what gap you were looking to fill both as a business and a mission-driven brand?
Prospector Popcorn was created in 2014 at our first run movie theater in Ridgefield, Connecticut called The Prospector. The movie theater business, it's also mission-based, so we share a single mission of creating jobs for people with disabilities. And the movie theater business has ebbs and tides. Like, not every year is Star Wars trilogy year, like ticket sales come and go, and that's a little beyond our control. You'd also have to know about the movie theater business is that 60% of every ticket goes to the studios. So with trying to, have a successful mission, with those kinds of structural challenges, we said, what else do we do? Let's look inward. What else are we good at? And we figured out or knew that we were good at making gourmet popcorn because we've been doing it for 10 years and watching our guests enjoy it firsthand. And we said, this could be great. And maybe people outside 20-mile radius of the movie theater might like it too. And so really the business of the gourmet popcorn, the business of Prospector Popcorn took off from there.
Prospector Popcorn is known for creating employment opportunities for individuals with disabilities. So how do you approach hiring, training, and creating an environment where employees really can thrive?
At Prospector Popcorn, our fundamental theory is we look at someone's inner passion. We try and look at what they're interested in, and we pair it with a job. And we think that's the best chance of success, because if it's something you're interested in, you enjoy doing, then cultivating that leads to success. An example might be, you could be an usher at the theater, right? And you could be a great usher and you get great reviews and everything. And then we find out you like to bake cookies, or you make Taco Tuesday night for your family. And we think, hey, would you like to try yourself out in the kitchen? You want to come up to Gourmet Popcorn, come to the kitchen and take a couple shifts up there. So therefore, we get to know somebody, what makes them tick, and try and find the right job for the right person. The other thing that we do that's systemic throughout at the Prospector and at Prospector Popcorn is we teach and train. So we don't have trainers and learners and classes that you take. We're all responsible for teaching and training. It's part of all of our jobs. So that if I know something, like I'm particularly good at pivot tables in Excel, then it's kind of my job to kind of look for opportunities to teach it to other people. And what's interesting about that it's part of everybody's job, no matter what you're good at, is it's very nonprofit-y in that when you work at a nonprofit, you learn to not leave any resources on the table. You put everything to work. So at making everybody a teacher and everybody a trainer, then we're constantly cross-training everybody. So it's the right job for the right passion, and then a continuous teach and train.
When you think about the convenience channel, why should this conversation around inclusion matter to retailers and suppliers, especially right now?
Over the last couple of years, I've been reading the number one concern for convenience professionals is hiring. They have really trouble hiring and they worry about it. And what's interesting is that in the US, when you look at people that don't identify with disabilities, 65% of them employed. That drops to 24% for people that identify with a disability. 24% employment for people that identify with a disability. That's a huge untapped resource. These are people that want to work, they're looking for work, and they just have trouble finding places that will hire them. Now, with such a big workforce, they're in the communities where these convenience stores already exist. They're your neighbors. They probably shop your store. So it seems like it seems like the opportunity is right there to solve a problem, to have, this resource solve the hiring problem. And when you look at it as your neighbors and the people that are already in your community, you're not doing something nice. It's good business.
For those listening who want to take a meaningful first step toward inclusion, what's one actionable takeaway they can do?
One of the things that we always try and tell people when they think about hiring people with disabilities, inclusion of people with disabilities, is it's not hard. It doesn't have to be hard, and it doesn't have to be expensive. And sometimes the smallest and simplest accommodations can help someone be successful. And an example in our workflow in Gourmet Popcorn is, you imagine our kitchen. We have no SOPs, standard operating procedures, no shortage of them. We have one for everything, right? But we also find that some people are just better visual learners. So rather than have just text-heavy standard operating procedures, when you open up one of our, it's pictures and text, and it's alternating. And so it kind of works for everybody. And that's a very low-tech, camera phone picture that just helps everybody as an accommodation if that's the way they choose to learn and need to be successful. I want people not to worry that they're going to have two workforces. Everybody they hire and the people that have identified with disabilities. It's not like that. Where we work, we have one set of standards for everybody. So we all have to meet that standard and do it. So we don't end up with two workforces or two ways of doing something or anything inefficient. It's one efficient workforce, all working towards the same goal. So that's what I would say in terms of hiring, is that accommodations are easy and don't have to be expensive, and it doesn't have to complicate your existing workforce.
So that's all the questions I had. Adam, thank you for chatting with me today about inclusion at work.
Thank you for having me. This was excellent.
And stay tuned, everyone, for more episodes of the Convenience Inclusion Initiative podcast. Have a great day.